Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. So I want to point out something here on the daily chart of IWM. Notice right here where we got a lower close below the 21 and then a lower close the next day with a moving average cross. That is what is called an official top. Okay, now when you get a top, let me change the color of my pen here. When you get a top, a lot of things here, when you hear the word top, people think, oh my gosh, this is the top for the next 5 years. That's not true. It's a confirmed top, and then it'll be a reversal when the opposite happens. When we get a close above the 21 and then a higher close, that's the reversal, and it's showing that the bottom is in. Okay, so look what happened here. We fell, we rallied back to the 21, and then from there we really puked hard. So I point this out because a lot of people I'm talking to right now are like, oh, when's the bottom? When do we buy the spiders? Well, the spiders and the Qs right now look exactly like IWM did 3 weeks ago. We got the close below the 21, we got the lower low the next day, and the 21 EMA cross. Remember, from here, the Russell actually went straight down to its 89 period moving average. So again, let's go back to IWM. So we went to its 89 period moving average and blew right through it, and actually we're currently we're right in between the 34 and the 55 on the weekly. Now remember how moving averages work. If you take out the 34 on a closing basis, it opens up the door to the 55. So again, if we go back to the spiders and say, well, on a weekly chart, if we're going to do the same thing, that takes us to 278. Okay, what does that mean on the S&Ps? That's a little more sobering. From a 2889 level, that would take us to 2793. So we're talking about a 100-point drop in the S&Ps or a 1,000-point drop in the Dow if we're going to mimic what happened there. Okay, now it doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen, but a lot of times you're going to have an index or two that are front runners for what's going on behind the scenes. And in this case, you can see the transports, they've been sitting here puking. They're now through the 21 on a weekly. If we go to the Qs and just say, like, okay, we've already tested the 21, but what does the 34 look like? All right, come over here to the NASDAQ. A move to the 34 weekly takes us to 71.87. That's 200 and some odd points from where we are right now. All right, again, doesn't mean we're going straight down there, but the IWM has showed us a path, and the path with least resistance right now, at least in the short term, is lower. All right. All right, so good stuff there. For those of you that don't know, I am going to be doing a free webinar Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock Central Time. That's 8 o'clock East Coast Time. Now, I did a webinar last week on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday of last week. Tons of feedback on it, tons of questions, a lot of positive kind of oomph released from that because it just opened up a lot of people's eyes as to the current market conditions and how to best play it. This is going to be kind of an encore follow-up where if you did see the one last week, there'll be some new stuff here. If you didn't see it, this is your chance to kind of dive in. The markets are changing, guys, and if you are not on top of this, it's going to be very, very difficult. I'll show you some of the things I'm talking about here. So as an example, the markets right now, there's two major ebbs and flows that are happening. On the daily charts, and then on the 30-minute charts. So on the daily charts, on the settings here, you can see that you can time these ebbs and flows here, buy signal, here, sell signal, here, buy signal. These do not happen in hindsight. They happen in real time. Now, what I actually like even better is if you drill down to the 30-minute chart, you can actually play the ebbs and flows intraday. So buy signal, sell signal, first buy signal, second buy signal. Okay, so you do this as a scaling process. And then, boom, now here you got an exit signal plus a reversal signal on the Qs. All right, this is from today. A lot of people today were wondering if the market was going to rally, but once this happened, it was over. Okay, and if you understand that, then you know to use that opportunity to get the heck out of your longs and even get aggressive on the short side if you're day trading. And then the same thing here. On the Qs, once you get up into these zones right here, you're not going any higher. It's just the question is, do you revert back to the means, which is this zone right here, or are you going to go all the way to these lower zones. In this case, we actually ended up going all the way to the lower zones. And then part of what I'll also be doing tomorrow night is not only talking about these tools. So this is on this side, we've got these new tools that I'm talking about here. So you can see, I mean, essentially the S&Ps today, they were going back and forth between these levels all day long like a ping pong ball, okay? And then here too, you can see the sell signals here at around 10 o'clock this morning, and then the buy signals that were down here. But also how we use this in conjunction with some of these other tools. This has been very, very exciting. I'm excited to share this with you guys tomorrow. And again, all you need to do is just go to simplertrading.com/points. I think I may have cut that off here a little bit. Let me see. There. /points. It'll bring you to this page, and again, this will talk about just kind of some of the bullets and stuff like that here. But essentially, it's how to exploit the market's inevitable ebb and flow. And most importantly, that's whether, if you just want to catch moves that are kind of going like this, but also what I found is this increases the accuracy of the setups I already like the squeeze, because you can actually ebb and flow in and out of the squeeze as well. Anyway, if you haven't seen this stuff yet, you're going to love it. If you saw the one last week, you'll see some nice additions to this one, and looking forward to sharing it with you. You guys have a great night. Looking forward to working with you on this Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Central.